All right, welcome back. I was trying to sign in with Anna, but obviously on the last screen it said that, or at the end of the last video, it said that you would have to wait 24 hours for them to send you a confirmation email to make sure Master Connect actually knows you're actual educator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log in with mine for sake of time and go ahead and kind of show you around the platform a little bit before I show you how Anna could go ahead and get started. So we'll go ahead and log in. And what I'm going to do in this video is this is just simply going to be for your profile. So as you come in, you can see that I have a profile picture. Miss Miller is also over here, who I teach with. We follow each other on here, kind of like you would on Twitter or Facebook or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I have my fishing picture here, but you can change it to a personal picture or something like that. But I go under and I say, I'm going to edit my profile. Now in here, there's a lot of interesting things you can do, especially once we get to the scanning and exporting. So you can see profile, your password, school, notifications if you want to change that, privacy, and so much. I don't use too much of the course type stuff. Also, any kind of help you need over here, Mastery Connect, when I was walking through and doing this and kind of familiarizing myself with it, they have a lot of good tutorial videos on how to help a little bit more extensively than I do. I'm going to try to get you as far through it as I can, but obviously they are the experts on this and they do a lot of really good videos to show you how to walk through it. Some of them can be a little confusing somewhat, so I'm going to try to simplify things for you. But I can go through here, obviously my profile settings, email address that they verified earlier. I can go in and I can put a photo in. I just pulled a fishing one off online, saved it, and then put it in there. My role, if my role ever changes, let's say instead of a teacher, I become a Title I teacher or a media specialist, a principal, or a student teacher, I can always change that up. Or if you're in a looping school, I can always change from second to third grade, since I've looped before between those two grade levels. And I can also change up my subject areas. If all of a sudden I am put into a first grade language arts class where I'm teaching everything, I can also add that. So that's where you may want to edit that year to year. How many years of experience, and then a short bio. I don't even really fool with that short bio too much. Then you can go in if you don't like your password or it keeps getting messed up, you can always edit your password in here, and they will send you they usually send you like a little code saying, hey, do you want to change it? Yes. So then going to school, yes, I'm at Hamilton Crossing. You can also change that here as well. If you ever change schools or something like that, you can always keep the same account, but it doesn't have to necessarily be in Bartow County. Let's say I up and move to, South Florida or something like that. I can always change to, hey, all right, I'm in Florida, Dade County, so on and so forth, and still keep the same things, even though I would change the standards for what I need. So I go in, email notifications. I select, all right, certain people can send me messages on here. Some people can comment, so on and so forth. So because kind of create that community of learners. If somebody says, hey, I really like this, will you keep it on here? Do you mind sending it, to me or something like that? Even if they're in like South Georgia or something, I can do that. But mainly it's used between schools and in grade levels and here in Bartow County. So right here, we're talking about privacy policy. Everything's private. I don't want to make any of my news feeds out for everybody or anything like that. So then I go into scanning and exporting. This is really important because what you can do is you can scan in evidence and you can see me there. I'm going to go ahead and I have allowed the camera to see me on this one, but I can go in and I can scan student work, and let's say they have a bubble sheet or a short CFA that's multiple choice. They can come in, they can scan it. I can use a document camera and I can scan in any of their work and it will either grade it for me, or that's a way for me to log evidence. And then I go into cores. These are mainly, all right, these are all my standards. Most of that stuff will set it up for me when I go through and do some of my trackers and assessments and stuff, they automatically log that stuff for me. You can see some of them are 2016. When you go into the standards, and I'll show you that later, they have some that don't give you options for 2018, 2019, some of the newer ones that have come out. So I went to some of the older ones since they're essentially the same thing, but they gave me what I needed. You can go in and save those changes. If I change, states or whatever else, I could always go in. It also gives you some of your it may even give you some of your WIDA standards and things like that. You'll have to scroll through and see, and even some of our technology standards from the International Society of Technology and Education. They can help you with some of that. So that's just kind of a walkthrough on that. Anytime I'm in any area and I want to get back to the home screen, obviously I go up here, I click home, and it takes me back to my feed, almost like my wall that I would have for Facebook, Instagram, or something like that. So that's a little walkthrough on editing your profile. Next, we'll get into maps.